Why use options? What are they and how are they used and why do people use them? Standardized terms, we're going to talk about. One of the things about options and really anything in finance is the terminology is not necessarily something that you would normally use in an everyday conversation. So we're going to go ahead and talk about some of that terminology today, and how standardized terms really revolutionized options. Then we're going to talk about expiration dates, different expirations for our contract. Options are contracts, and like all contracts, they have a life cycle. So we're going to talk about those different life cycles of options, and we're going to talk about a concept called moneyness. And if we have time left over, which I hope we will, we're going to go ahead and do some live Q&A. But again, in the meantime, if you've got questions, go ahead and shoot them off to our team there using your Q&A box right below the your console window. So here's something that you are the very first to see. We do often talk about options volume. Now that the final tallies of 2025 are in, we can talk about what we did last year. And you can see, really going back from 2000, you can see how options have really, the use of options have increased. Certainly increased from 2000 to about 2010, then it kind of plateaued, really up until COVID. And then since COVID, you can see things have exploded. 2025, another record year, 15.3 billion option contracts traded, an average daily volume of about 60 million option contracts. Just unbelievable numbers, certainly from when my colleagues and I got into the business in the late 90s. We weren't even trading a billion contracts a year, and now we're doing that multiple times over. So really terrific volume consistently throughout the last several years. And what that tells me is that obviously more people are getting into the product, but a lot of those people might be brand new to the product, right? People such as yourselves, maybe they're fulfilling a New Year's resolution to learn more about options. But the point being is that when you're getting your feet wet, when you're getting into something for the first time, you don't really know what it is that you're doing. So you're looking for education, you're looking for resources to help you understand what's going on and what you're getting yourself into. And again, we like to think of ourselves as that's where we come in. We want to be your source of education, or at least one of your sources when it comes to options education. The volume, again, absolutely crazy. 15 billion contracts and some change, 60 million contracts a day. We certainly expect that to continue, or hope that that's going to continue. And we hope that you'll be a part of it. So again, any questions that you have, shoot them off to us, and let's go ahead and get right into it. So let's start off with stock. Stock is simply an investment representing an equity ownership in a company. So when you're a stockholder, you own a piece of that company. And as an owner, you've got certain rights that go along with it. Number one, you've got voting rights. So you can vote for the board of directors. If the company is looking to maybe merge with another company, you've got a say in that. You can vote for that. If they want to do a stock split, you can participate in that vote and help direct the company where it's going to go. You can also participate if there are any company paid dividends. Shareholders are entitled to dividends. Option investors are not. Stocks are going to trade on the exchanges just like most other securities, and that value of that stock is going to fluctuate based on supply and demand, company performance, et cetera. So a stock, it's a physical asset. While in the past there used to be stock certificates that you would receive when you purchase stock, now it just goes into your account automatically. But a stock is a physical asset that gives you an equity stake in a company and some say or a voice in what that company looks like going forward. ETFs, similar to stocks, but rather than being for a specific company, an ETF, I should backtrack for a second. It's called an exchange traded fund. It's a fund similar to like a mutual fund created by the exchanges, and it can be a grouping of securities, or a grouping of companies, I should say, in a sector. So